Hi everybody, it's me, Crystalline, your proactive and conscious aging life coach. How are you guys doing tonight? I'm joyful in the Lord and in the power of His might. Welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, I'm so glad to see you. And if you're new here, I talk about all things health, wellness, beauty, lifestyle, and spirituality. If you like that kind of content, then you'll like it here. So please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and give me some comments because I love this to be a conversation between you and I. And if you really think this video has a lot of helpful content, please be sure to share it. Today we are going to juice and talk, and I haven't done a juice and talk video in weeks, so now that it's fall, I thought it was time for me to do it again. Not only is it fall, but it is fall detox time for me, and I'm going to tell you why it's detox time. And this is why, okay? As you know, if you've been watching my health updates, about a month ago, I had a really bad and serious bout of sciatica. And this is a terrible problem that happens in your back. Also, it can happen in other areas of the body. But what happened to me was it came in my back. It was excruciating pain. And then it started to radiate down my right leg. And I am a very active person. I work out like 4 to 5 days every week, you know, and so this kind of really took me for aback to have something like this happen to me. And what happened was I was outside gardening, and I guess I pulled the mulch. It was too heavy for me. I bent over wrong. I don't know what happened, to tell you the truth. But after I did that gardening, the pain just started to get worse and worse. And so what was happening was I didn't have any pain relief. I tried all the gels and the patches and the arnica and the Aleve and everything under the sun, but I was still hurting a lot. And so what happens, I'm sure you can relate to this, a lot of times when we have physical pain, we try to medicate it. Okay, and one way to medicate some pain without a pain reliever is to eat sugar. All right. Now, a few years ago, I became a whole food plant-based eater, and I did give up sugar, but slowly but surely, I'm not gonna lie, it started to creep back into my life until now. And I'll tell you why. Last week, my husband and I were invited to a nice event. And I went to pick something out of my closet to wear, and you know, nothing fit. I could not believe it. Last year at this time, I weighed 143 pounds. I have a pair of size 4 pants that just slipped on. They look beautiful on me. I'm 5'9". So, you know, I'm kind of long and lean, but please, I couldn't fit my size 4s, and I was so upset with myself. Now, if you look on a weight chart and a height chart, anywhere between 120 and 160 is the weight range for somebody at my height. I like to be on the leaner side. So, needless to say, I was pretty upset with myself, and I could not anymore deny that I had been eating too much sugar. Now, I still kept eating my whole foods and plant-based, but in the meantime, I was eating flips and Stacy's pita chips and lemon heads. That's how I broke my tooth that time. So listen, I'm just going to be fully disclosing and vulnerable in this video because I know that I am not the only one who likes to throw down with some sugar. However, being that this is the health, wellness, and beauty channel, and I will put the emphasis on health and wellness. You know, all of that has to cease in the name of Jesus. So, yeah, that was my wake-up call from God telling me, you have to stop this. And it was the other couple of things that was happening that you know, was kind of, excuse me, my cat is trying to get up in the picture. Get down. Sorry about that. There were other couple of things that were occurring in my body that I didn't know were too much sugar related. And one of those things was I was starting to feel stiff. And even with stretching, I still felt kind of stiff. And I was like, well, what is this? Is this like a side effect of the sciatica or what? But I found out what it was. And what it was I have been eating too much sugar. So it's got to go, okay? It's got to go. If you're out there and you want to do this with me, come on and let's do this together. So I'm going to tell you about this first. I'm going to give you a few things that you will see improve after 14 days of not eating sugar. Now, I want to be a little specific here because when I'm talking about sugar, I'm talking about white processed granulated sugar. I'm talking about honey. I'm talking about pure maple syrup. Am I getting on your nerves yet? I'm talking about molasses. I'm talking about all this different stuff that is sugar that we try not to say is sugar. Okay, I'm talking about all of it. It's got to go, all right? Because we are going to cleanse our palates and we are going to learn how to love the food that we should be eating, because I don't know about you, I'm 61. I'd like to live until I'm 100. So I'm starting, well, I started a long time ago, but I've noticed as I'm getting older, it is more of a battle. So I'm starting over again. I am refocusing, repenting, and recommitting to a more healthy lifestyle. Can I get an amen from you guys? So this is the part where you might want to have a pen and paper, because I'm going to give you a few things that are going to happen when you stop eating sugar for 14 days, okay? And I have them over here. I'm going to read them off to you. And first of all is that you will lose your appetite for sugar. If you stop eating it, you'll lose your appetite for it, and you'll be less hungry. That's number one. Number two, you'll have less fatigue. Number three, you'll have a loss of excess water out of your body. That's a big one, because when we hold water, when we retain water, we're bloated. That makes us feel sluggish, you know, and it also contributes to a lot of inflammation. And that is a big point that I want to bring up with you guys, that sugar, it causes inflammation in the body, and inflammation causes you to age faster than you normally would. So we want to get rid of anything that causes inflammation, and sugar, processed sugar, is one of the #1 culprits that cause inflammation in the body. Okay, number four, you're going to have an enhanced mood. You're going to feel better. You won't feel so depressed or down. Your mood will be more even and stable. Okay, you'll also have less brain fog. Do you ever try to think of some words and you can't think of your words? That happens to me all the time, okay? And it's not just a function of aging, it's a function of what you're putting in your body that's causing brain fog. We have control over things, okay? We don't have to succumb to lifestyle illnesses like diabetes, heart disease, cancers, certain cancers. We don't have to succumb to those. We can choose how we want to live our lives healthfully. Okay? Number five, and this is a huge one right here, is your skin is going to look 100% better. When you cut that sugar out and you just eat your vegetables and your fruits, cut those high calorie carbs out, processed carbs, crackers, cookies, pies, cakes, all of that. When you cut it out, your skin is going to look 100% better. Now I'm going to stop right here for a minute, because I felt guilty. When I looked back over my videos, I had a good start. I showed you the protein smoothie. I showed you a juicing and heart health video. And I also showed you a how to make the green salad video, okay? And all of those were great. Next thing you know, here comes summer, and I make these special baked beans twice a year at our church picnic and on the 4th of July. And these baked beans are so filled with sugar, you know, I feel ashamed even to say I showed you how to make them, okay? Not only do they have pure maple syrup, but also had the nerve to put light brown sugar in there, okay? So that's enough sugar to, you know, kill a horse, practically, okay? So I want to tell you guys, I am very sorry for that. And of course, somebody out there might be thinking everything in moderation, and that is true. It's not like we're sitting here eating those baked beans every day, but I want to keep everything healthy in this space. So I won't be showing things like that anymore. Also, my husband retired a few weeks ago. He wanted me to make him a lemon cake. So I did. I made a lemon power bundt cake. That one was over the top with sugar, okay? So those are those two baddies. The rest of the things that I present to you guys, I promise from now on are gonna be healthy. So let me go on to number 6 and 7 on my list of things that you will see when you stop eating sugar for 14 days. You will notice that all your inflammation goes down, and your face, instead of being puffy and round, your face is going to lean out. You'll start to see your cheekbones. You'll start to see your facial shape, that beautiful bone structure that God has given you. So, you know, there's so many good things that go along with dropping that sugar, not to mention number 8, which is weight loss, okay? And so, as I was telling you, I weighed about 143 pounds at this time last year. I weighed myself yesterday morning. I weighed 154.6, which that's not gonna kill me, okay? I'm 5'9", in between, you know, if you look on the height and weight charts, for 5'9" for a woman, it says that I can weigh between 120 and 160 and still be good, okay? I tend to like how I look on the leaner side. So that's what I'm going for. I'm going back to 143 pounds. And when I get there, I'll show it to you on the scale. So weight loss, in addition to all the other wonderful benefits of stopping sugar. So what I'm doing with the juicing, and I'm going to show it to you in just a few minutes, I'm just going to do a detox and a reboot because I want to retrain my taste buds not to want the taste of sugar. One thing that I almost forgot, you guys, I went to the dentist this afternoon, and guess what? I had 3 cavities. And you know how you go to the dentist and they take your x-rays of your teeth? Well, about 3 years ago, before the pandemic, I had gone to the dentist because I go every 6 months for a cleaning. I had gone to the dentist and I had some little tiny cavities that they just wanted to watch. So apparently those cavities have gotten bigger, and now they want to give me 3 fillings, which that's fine. I'm all for it. I have an appointment for the week after next, and we're going to take care of those fillings. So another thing that you can avoid by eating less sugar are dental caries, also known as cavities. And oh my gosh, that should be one of the first things on the list. Now we know also highly acidic food, like coffee, for example, can also cause cavities. But since we're talking about sugar, we're not going to have the sugar because it's going to help our teeth, okay? Fortunately, I haven't had any cavities in the front of my teeth, so you can't see them, but I know they're there, and now you know. And see, I said I was going to be vulnerable. I said I was going to be transparent in this video, so that's what I'm dealing with. God is good, though. I'm going to go to that dentist. They're going to take care of my cavities, and I'm going to be all right. So, now, one thing that people deal with when they're trying to stop sugar are cravings. So I got something for you. A few years ago, well, many years ago, I became pregnant with my daughter. And at that time, I had gained so much weight that I actually became diabetic. And they told me that as I got older, if I didn't watch my sugar, I would have more of a propensity to become diabetic. So sure enough, a few years ago, before I went on a whole food plant-based nutrition plan, I did get pre-diabetes. And when I went to the doctor, I was really blessed to have a holistic doctor who took a holistic approach. And she told me this, excuse me. She said, Crystalline, I'm not going to put you on medication. I'm going to tell you what to do. This is what she told me. She told me to get a product. It's called Gymnema, and it is a sugar blocker. They call it the sugar destroyer, as a matter of fact. It is an herb, and it's called Gymnema sylvestri. I will put it in the description box so you can check it out if you want to. All right? I am not a doctor. Here's my disclaimer. I'm not giving you medical advice right now. I'm telling you something that was told to me that worked for me. Gymnema, it stops sugar cravings. But what I have to tell you is this. While you're taking Gymnema, you have to stop eating sugar. What you'll do is you'll take one of these in the morning before breakfast, okay? And then when you eat your breakfast and throughout the day, you're going to take one of these with each meal. And you're not going to eat any kind of processed sugar. Now listen, I'm not crazy. I know it's sugar in everything, okay? Soups, ketchup, all kind of things, salad dressings. And unless you're making these things yourself, you can't really, tell the manufacturers how much sugar to put in there. Only thing you can do is read the label and try to get as less as possible. And so this is what we're doing. And I'll tell you, even by eating less sugar than what you're eating now, this will work. You will not crave sugar. And if you do eat some sugar, it's going to taste like cardboard. Okay. I guarantee this works. It's called Gymnema sylvestri. And what I have here is the Super Gymnema, which is 500 milligrams, but they have all different kinds. I'm going to put some info in the description box so you can try this. Ask your doctor about it first. Like I said, I'm not giving anyone medical advice. I'm telling you what has worked for me. So that's number one. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to get yourself some Ceylon cinnamon powder. Now this one is organic Ceylon cinnamon powder, and it is by Nature Vibe, and I got this off of Amazon.com. This is a huge bag right here. It's 1 pound, and my last 1 pound bag actually lasted over a year, almost a year and a half. So this costs about maybe $13 or $18, but it's a very, very good buy because it works. Ceylon cinnamon helps to regulate your blood sugar. So these two together are the sugar bombs, okay? You will stop craving sugar, and the sugar that you do eat will be regulated. So that's what I can tell you about how to get rid of those cravings. So are you with me so far? I hope so, you guys, because we are going to do this. And so right now, I'm going to get over here to the juicing and let's go. So this is what you're going to need to make the juice. First of all, you're going to need a juicer. Any kind of plain juicer is just fine. You'll need that. You'll need a large measuring cup like this. I also use a pitcher because sometimes I make so much juice that I need to store it in here before I put it into the individual bottles. You'll need some bottles. My husband had a whole bunch of these from Drought. Someone gave them to him. So I'm going to use these bottles. You'll need some measuring spoons like this. And of course, your vegetables that you're going to juice. Now, today I'm going to be juicing the celery, the cucumbers, the gala apples, and the spinach. And it's all down in here, so you can't see it, but we're going to get to it, okay? So let's start off with the celery. Now, let me tell you a little bit about celery. Celery is an excellent vegetable. It has high levels of antioxidants. It has vitamin A, C, K. It has potassium and folate. Oh, celery is wonderful. So let's just put some celery in here and get started. As you can see, I cut the celery up into pretty small pieces because with this juicer, it does better with small pieces. So let's put that celery in there. And by the way, this juice is called lean green, and it's a variation of Joe Cross's mean green. I like to use vegetables that have a more high water yield content because it's juice, okay? And I don't want to have to use a bushel of kale, and I have found that spinach yields more juice than kale, so that's what I use. So you just put it in here. There it goes. And I just want you to look at how pretty this juice is. Isn't that gorgeous? It's so pure and just beautiful. So let me go on. I'll put some more. Now, this green juice is really good, but I do like to add a little bit of sweetness with gala apples. And that's not going to harm my sugar, going off of sugar, because the gala apples also has the fiber, and we're also using the skin. Okay, it does come out in this part. So let's do some more celery. So the next thing I'm going to add are the gala apples because they're right here on top. I love gala apples. One thing about these apples too is that they're extremely filling. So if you're hungry, really hungry, and you want to stave off your appetite before dinner, I would highly recommend having one of these big gala apples because with the fiber, with the peel, they are going to be very filling. All you have to do is eat one, okay? And you will stave off your hunger long enough to not want to overeat. So let's put those in. If I see that I want to add a little bit more sweetness, I'll probably add 2 more. But for right now, we use 2. And remember, we're trying to stop eating sugar, but you know, I'm not going to go crazy. I still want to have a little sweetness from this fruit, which I have read in my research, and you know I like to do my research, that fiber that comes in your fruit with the sugar is pretty much okay. What I'm trying to get off of is processed sugar. So somebody will come and, correct me in the comments, I'm sure. But in the meantime, this is what we're doing, okay? So the Gala apples, they have vitamins A, B6, C, minerals, magnesium, and copper. They're also high in fiber, and they have potassium. Just to recap, okay? Now, the next ingredient is going to be cucumbers. And I love cucumbers. I don't know about you, but this is one of the ingredients in the fat belly water. Okay, so in the fat belly water, you have water, you have lemon, and cucumbers. And so what happens is the cucumbers act as a diuretic, helping to flush the water out of your system, hence flat belly water, okay? So the cucumbers have vitamin K, vitamin C, and minerals like copper, phosphorus, potassium, and magnesium. So let's get those juiced. That our measuring cup is all the way full with those ingredients. It looks beautiful. It looks like a green lemon meringue pie. Oops. Anyway, you know what I mean. If any of you guys are kind of my age, they used to have this Jello called 1, 2, 3 Jello, and it would have different layers. It was dark and then light and then light. That stuff was the best. This reminds me of that because it's going from dark to light. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to put this in the pitcher because it's getting to be too much in this measuring cup. So I'm just going to put this in here like that. And look how much is made already. That's quite a bit. And the last ingredient is going to be the spinach, okay? And spinach is wonderful. Look at this dark green color. Can you just even smell that? It smells wonderful. And one thing about this spinach, it has this kind of like dirty taste. I'm not trying to be funny, but remember, one of my wise woman's rules was that you had to eat a tablespoon of dirt before you become the age of 18. I'm just playing, but this has kind of that like really earthy taste to it. And so it's really dark. I cut it up pretty fine, and I'm just going to stick it on in here and watch how it comes out. It's going to be really dark. This dish towel on my counter because some of the juice does drip out, and it's just to help clean up better and faster. Look how dark that is. So this is going to darken the whole juice. I'm just going to put it on in here like that. You know what, guys? I almost forgot one thing, and I'm going to get it immediately because I want to make sure I do this recipe right. When juicing, always use ginger root. I don't care what kind of juice it is because it gives it a tangy, wonderful taste. So we're going to use this at the end. Now, I just have a little bit more to go that I'm going to go in and juice. Put it in here. I hope you guys are enjoying this video, watching it just as much as I am doing it. I feel such a relief to be bringing you guys a healthy video with some detox juice, and we can drink this for a few days and reboot our system and feel good about ourselves before the holidays. Okay, because during the holidays there's going to be so much food that we're going to be tempted to eat and everything. So to do this like at least once per season, winter, spring, summer, fall, okay, this is good. It makes you feel good about yourself and it helps your body out. So that is it. I've used up all of those apples and all of those vegetables, and they are now in my juice right here. So let me put the last of this in. Now I'll tell you, if I wanted to increase this amount of juice, I could add like spring water or some kind of filtered water. It just depends. I think I'm going to drink it just like this at full strength this time around. Now, the ginger. You have to kind of use your own taste. I tend to like things spicy. So, for example, if you watched my video, my short video about the protein coffee mix that I made, I use a lot of cinnamon and a lot of nutmeg. And consequently, I'm going to use a lot of ginger. A lot of this ginger root, okay? And this one is huge and it's nice. So all you do is put however much you want in there, and I will give you a hint. You need to put in a little at a time, because if you put in too much at a time, you can make the drink too spicy. This is what it looks like, and I'll tell you what, I'm gonna pour in a little bit at a time, and then I'm gonna taste it because I don't want it to be too spicy. So just a little bit at a time. This is fresh ginger root, and it is very strong. Very strong. You will be surprised. So now I'm gonna taste it for you. I'm just gonna pour in a little bit into my fall glass, and you guys know where I got this from, right? Very, very good. It has just enough of the gala apple to offset the spinach, all right? So I like this a lot. I have 2 more special ingredients that I'm gonna add, and so I'm gonna come and add them for you. I have 2 things that I like to add to my green juices, and those are spirulina powder, and I also like to add chlorella. So let me tell you about the spirulina first. Some call spirulina a nature's ultimate superfood. It is an antioxidant nutrient powerhouse. First of all, it's very high quality protein. It provides all the essential amino acids, vitamin B12, vitamin E, potassium, calcium, magnesium, iron, zinc, and phenolic acids. It also has essential fatty acids, including Y-linolenic acid. Am I saying that right? It's Y-linolenic acid. I'm sorry, you guys. So it has very powerful antioxidant properties with ingredients also phycocyanin and B-carotene. Now, a number of studies have shown that spirulina significantly improves antioxidant status and capacity. And as we know, antioxidants are important to help balance free radicals and oxidants that play a role in oxidative stress. So to make a long story short, spirulina helps keep you young, okay? It plays a very, very important part in proactive aging, and it also has immune enhancing effects. So spirulina has also been shown to help improve insulin sensitivity. So it will also help you regulate your blood sugar. So let me show you what I do with my spirulina. I'm only going to use a little bit, a very little bit in here. And so what I have right here is 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, because if you add too much, you'll be trying to blend it until the cows come home. And that's what I'm going to put of that spirulina in there. And I just stir it up really, really well. And the juice is going to get darker and darker with the addition of the spirulina and the chlorella. But I like to add these two because it just gives the juice so much more nutrition, and I feel good about drinking it when I use these two things, okay? So now I'm going to add the chlorella. I'm going to do the same thing with the chlorella. I'm just going to add a little bit. Now, one time I added a teaspoonful of this chlorella and it was over, okay? It's really, really strong, so I'm really putting about even a half of that 1/4 teaspoon in here because it's very strong. I did it that one time and I put so much in there that I had to actually put my juice in a blender to get it to blend all up, okay? And let me make it clear to you, you don't have to put these additives in here. You really don't. I just like the extra nutrients. And so let me just tell you a little bit about the chlorella. It supports heavy metal detoxification. Now, heavy metals can be found in polluted air, water, food containers, paints. So we need to have a little bit of heavy metal detoxification. Now, there's some other people who can speak on that a lot better than I can, but that's the basics of why I'm using the chlorella. Chlorella also fights cancer. It protects the body from free radical damage and oxidative stress. So we got two things working on those free radicals. There's a powerful cancer-fighting carotenoid antioxidant, in chlorella called C. ellipsoidea, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, which may also protect against colon cancer, lung cancer, breast cancer, and some other cancers. So I love to use my chlorella, and I put it in there. Like I say, just use a little bit, and you can see the juice has gotten really, really dark. I'm going to pour some out in a minute, and you can see it even better. One more thing that I want to tell you about spirulina is that it has all the essential amino acids as protein, and actually it is 65 to 71% protein, and you can compare that to beef, which is only 22%. So that's how I usually answer people when they say, where do you get your protein on a whole food plant-based diet? It's not just about meat. You can get your plant-based protein in spirulina. So now what I'm going to do is, since I said I wasn't going to add any water to these this time, then I'll just pour them into these individual bottles like this. And I will probably have 2 bottles for the next few days. And that's going to help with eradicating my sugar cravings, along with the Gymnema and the Ceylon cinnamon. Now look at that. Look how dark that is. It smells wonderful. It's so fresh. It's so nice. I hope you guys have been making this along with me, and I hope you're going to enjoy how it tastes when you taste it. In order to keep these fresh, you're gonna put a nice tight lid on them and make sure you store them in your refrigerator. Now, a lot of people swear by making their juice fresh every day. I do not. I usually make enough for about 3 days max, because after that, then, you know, the ingredients start not to taste as good, not as fresh, but I do believe the nutrients are still there. So I usually make about 3 days worth at a time, and I store them like this. I like to drink my juice with ice. So I'm going to drink a little bit with this ice right now. It's really good. I put just enough of that ginger root in there to make it taste great. So you guys, this is our video for today. It's a challenge to you for the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to be doing this along with you. You can come to my comments and let me know how you're doing. 2 weeks, no processed sugar, okay? We're going to do this together, and I'm going to let you know. I'll give you some updates in my shorts. And at the end of the 14 days, I'll come back and say how I did, and you can tell me how you did too. Is that a deal? Let me know in the comments, okay? Thanks for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Mwah.